Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the Horror Bros podcast. I'm Danny,
And I'm Derek.
and this week we're coming at you. I ain't got the case this time because I took it back over there, but I'm sure Derek shot it. Yep, there it is. Hey, yo, we got the same one.
Yeah, I told you.
Halloween 2. I don't remember you saying, oh man, my why does my camera keep doing that? It keeps lagging. Did you see that on your end?
Yeah, I just seen it just now.
Dude, I don't know why it keeps doing that. It ain't never done that before.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
when we did the Halloween one, I was like, I got that one too.
yeah, see, look, Halloween 2 mask right here. Uh, well, actually, I didn't watch it as close to the podcast episode. It's actually been about a week since I watched it, so I might be a little bit fuzzy on it.
Yeah,
But I got the Wikipedia page right here to help guide me through it, so it's okay.
good. And I'm old, so I'll probably be fuzzy on it.
All right, so hang on. Let me see if I have any strange behind the scenes facts. I actually don't think I had that many this time, other than like what we said before, like Halloween 2 wasn't even supposed to have Michael and Laurie in it for real. It was supposed to be a full on different movie, but after the first one came out, people was not about to do that.
Hmm.
They like insisted he bring Michael back.
Yeah.
So what John Carpenter would do is he didn't want to do another Michael movie. He wanted to do more of a, what do you call that? And
Oh, like an anthology
an
series type.
anthology. That's what I was
Yeah.
trying to think of. Yeah, he wanted to have it like all the different movies is just different stuff that happens on Halloween.
Yeah. Dude, those anthology movies are really good. I like stuff like that. My favorite anthology series is Tales from the Dark Side.
Oh, I went to the stupid. I went to the another language.
What?
There we go. Yeah, I was in some kind of other language. Uh, hang on, you get it pulled up. I had it pulled up before, but then
Yeah.
okay, here we go. 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 Okay. So this is actually the dude that directed this. Did you know this was his first time directing?
I
Rick
didn't know that.
Rosenthal.
Okay.
And it says that everybody came back to reprise their roles except for Nick Castle because Nick Castle actually I never knew why Nick Castle like they kind of dropped him after the first one, but it was because after Nick Castle did the first one, he started doing the directing. He started like
Okay.
directing stuff, so he wasn't really into the acting at that time. But
Got you.
look, I looked for my Halloween hoodie, but I couldn't find it, so I got my Halloween hat to rep it.
Sweet.
But yeah, Nick Castle not in this one. He doesn't come back in the series till way later in 2018. But
Yeah.
the dude that plays him in this one is Dick Warlock. No, not Dick Warlock. What am I saying? Yeah, it is Dick Warlock.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking he didn't play
That's
him
Dick
till
Warlock.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, directed by Rick Rosenthal. This was again written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, the ones that wrote the first one.
Yeah, I seen a video and Dick Warlock said his favorite kill was the one in the therapy pool
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I watched a thing of all the did you see all the Michaels telling their favorite kills?
Yeah, I think it was the dead meat what
Yeah.
thing, wasn't it?
So I
Yeah.
was about to
Yeah.
say I watched it on Dead Meat. He met them all at the same convention. And dude, how dope would that be to have every dude that's ever played Michael on one mask?
Dude, that would be
So
epic. Yeah.
sick. But
Yes.
yeah, they were running off a budget of $2.5 million, and for them to spend 2.5 million, they only made like $20 million. I mean, yeah, that's not bad, but like,
Yeah, this says 25.5 million.
yeah, they made
Yeah, they
25.5
made.
million. So they were
Yeah, I
they
seen that and I was like, dang, the first movie made so much, but then I read further on this one and it said that it was box office success. So
Yeah, I think a lot of people like this one. The only reason I found that people don't like it is they're like, Lori's just kind of like cooped up in this hospital the whole time. It's really boring. Nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
I thought it was a solid movie.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't. I mean, there was maybe a minute or two where I was like, "Come on, let's like get into the movie." But other than that, it's all right. But but yeah, that's the budget in the box office. I think we can go ahead and jump straight into the review. Just start from the beginning.
Cool.
Actually, it begins right where the first one ends. So
Yeah, it begins with her telling the kids to run down the street.
yeah, it gives like
And
a full recap.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
it shows the kids running, Loomis running into the house, shooting him 6 times, him going off the balcony, and then him going out there, and he's gone. So it picks up right there, and he's out there, and he's like freaking out, and then he sees the neighbor's light cut on,
yeah,
and then the neighbor slowly comes in, slow, making it slow. He comes out, and he's like, I don't remember what he said, but he's like,
yeah. He's like, "What's going on?" And then Loomis is like, "I shot him. I shot him. Call the sheriff and tell him I shot
oh
him."
yeah, call the
And he's
sheriff,
like,
and
"Is this a Halloween prank? I've been trick or treated to death." And Loomis is like, "You don't know what death is."
yeah, that's what it was. Because I knew he
Yeah,
said you don't know what death is, but I don't know what made that
yeah.
come up.
Yeah, and then he turned around and ran off, and then the credit. Dude, I love the credits. Like, I just
Oh
love the
yeah,
song and the orange, and yeah, it just
yeah.
makes me feel Halloweenish. I love it.
They do the credits, and then it goes straight in back into the first person perspective, and you see Michael starting to like go like start to turn down an alleyway where he stops because he sees Loomis in the cop car pulling up, and it's Loomis
Yep.
like telling the sheriff, I shot him 6 times," and he's like, "Dude, what? Get in!" So he gets in, and then he goes, and then it stays on Michael, and he's still lurking, and dude, I don't.
He goes into the woman's making sandwiches. She's like, "You want mayonnaise on your sandwich?"
Oh yeah, that's right. I almost skipped over that part. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's like the old lady, Mr. and Mrs. Elrod,
yeah. Now, do you know what movie's playing in that scene?
Night of the Living Dead.
Yes, the original Night of the Living Dead.
See, okay, I just went with Night of the Living Dead because I
Yeah.
know we're not covering the Night of the Living Dead, but the Night of the Living Dead was actually not under copyright for a while. So actually for the longest time, you could play it in your movies without any copyright issues.
Oh, dang,
That did you not
that
know
is
that?
cool.
You didn't know that?
Not really. I mean, I didn't research or anything. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, they lost the rights. So like if you ever see Night of the Living Dead like in the background, like they just did it just because they could, just put like the real movie in the background because for the longest time. And the crazy part was like they went into detail about this. It was over one little thing. Like literally in the paperwork, they misprinted one thing and they didn't have the copy. They didn't own it.
Oh no, dude! You know they must have been so mad.
And well, I'm pretty sure they got it back. It just took them it took them a while. But yeah,
Yep.
that's why. Like, in I don't remember any of the other movies that do it, but there's more.
Yeah.
Might
Well,
might
the
be one of the screams.
George A. Romero and another guy did the original Night of the Living Dead, and then they went their separate ways. So George A. Romero stuck with anything that was Night of the Living Dead, and anything that's Return of the Living Dead is the other guy
I
because he
actually
kind of went
didn't
kind
know
of
that.
comic with it. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I only watched the Return of the Living Dead. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Oh, well,
And
and in the
I
Return of the Living Dead, they talk about Night of the Living Dead.
I only watched Return of the Living Dead because I had seen Friday Part
6.
6.
Mhm.
And I knew Tom Matthews was going to be at the convention. And I was like, I don't want to like go there just fanboying over Tommy. He's been
Yeah.
in this other movie that's pretty popular. I'll go check it out. And it was on a free site. I was like, it's really not bad.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
usually
really
on
good.
Tubi all the time.
Yeah.
Um, Dude, the best Night of the Living Dead, in my opinion, is the remake in 1990. You should check it out.
See, I didn't know there was like as many as
Yeah,
there were. 'Cause
yeah,
how
it's
many
Tom
is there?
Savini. The original one came out in '68 by George A. Romero and the other guy. I can't think of his name. And then Tom Savini remade it in 1990.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah, I didn't know that.
dude, it's very good. You got to check it out. It's one of my favorite zombie movies ever. All right,
But
sorry.
yeah, back to where was we at? Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Elrod.
Yes.
Well, they were Mr. Elrod is watching Night of the Living Dead while Mrs. Elrod is making their sandwiches.
Yep. And
And you
then the
said
bulletin came on.
yeah, she asked and she said, "What do you want, mayonnaise on your sandwich?"
Yeah. It's like, do you want mustard?
And then like as that's happening, like there's a shot to where it's just showing the old lady, and behind her you see Michael creeping in and stealing the butcher knife that she was making the sandwiches with.
Yeah, dude. When I was watching it, I was like, why didn't he kill her?
See, there's a lot of conspiracy theories. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you straight up, this literally just came off the top of my head. But I've realized there's so many different conspiracy theories on Michael Myers. We could do a
Mhm.
whole video about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because some people, like, heck, it was literally just earlier I was reading it. It's like some people say that he's trapped in there and it's the evil taking over. And some people say it's that curse and he's got to kill all the bloodline he has left. And there was
Yeah.
another one that was saying, I don't remember, but that was probably the craziest one I heard, but I don't know why I can't remember it. But yeah, there's a lot of different theories on why Michael Myers kills. I
Yeah.
don't
He's
know.
just a psycho.
I think it'd be dope to like dive into some of the different things in
It
like
would be, yeah.
in like
Yeah,
a
do that.
shorter video.
Yeah.
But yeah, she don't even see him. She's like feeling over where the knife was at. She picks her hand up and there's blood on it because obviously
Yeah.
Michael's got some blood. He had just been shot
Mhm.
6 times and he's just
Yeah.
literally walking it off, my guy.
Yeah. He's definitely superhuman. And then
So
she yells at the top of her lungs, and then the neighbor comes out.
yeah, the neighbor's out there, and I don't know how she didn't see him.
Yeah, he was pretty
I
close
feel
looking.
like my papa would have seen him, and he's blind as a bat. He would have known Michael was standing there because literally she wasn't even facing away from him. All she would have had to do was like glance over real quick, and she would have seen him. I don't think he was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But she goes back in the house, and what it was is she was on the phone,
Yeah. Yes. And she
and
heard the people scream, or
yeah,
the woman.
her friend was telling her, he's like, yeah, it's this escaped mental patient going around killing everybody. She like, and then she realizes that it's like it's right near where she lives
Yeah,
at.
right down the
So she's
street.
like, she's freaking out, bro. So she's like, okay. She hears a scream. She goes out there, and then she like, Mrs. Elrod. And then she goes in there, and like as she's walking in, bro. See, I remember the first time I watched Halloween 2, and I was so confused. I was like, why is this here? Like, I get the Mr. and Mrs. Elrod part because that's how he gets his new knife. But why
Yeah.
kill the random girl?
I think because she went out asking if everything was okay, and he just happened to see her. Also, he likes to kill
But and then after
baby.
that, he took it upon himself to sneak into the house to lunge at her and kill her. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just always thought it was unnecessary. And like when I was watching it, the first time I watched it, I was like, who is that Lori? We just seen the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's just some random girl. But
Yeah.
anyway, she's dead. And then it cuts to what happens after that girl dies, does it? Oh no, it shows them taking Lori away on the ambulance, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They're taking her to the hospital.
Yeah.
And she's like, don't let him put me to sleep. Don't let him put me to sleep.
Yeah.
And she knows she goes to school with Jimmy,
Yeah.
his little brother. Yeah.
Oh
Jimmy's
yeah.
the paramedic. Yeah. One of the
Yeah.
paramedics. And the other
Yeah.
one's Bud.
Yeah. Jimmy's the curly headed paramedic that's got the crush on Lori.
Yeah. And Bud's
I-
the other one.
Did you know the whole time? Could you realize that Lori was wearing a wig for the whole movie?
No.
Did you know that? You know
No, I
she's wearing a
didn't.
wig.
No.
Yeah, because apparently her hair had got like a lot longer,
Uh-huh.
but I guess she didn't want to cut it, and they had to sell it for it to be like, because
Same night, yeah.
Halloween 1 and 2, that's the whole same night. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I even forget that. Like this woman has went through a lot in one night,
Me
bro.
too. Yeah, yeah. It's the same
Like
night.
you
Yeah.
start to feel bad for her at some point. Like just leave her alone, broski.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
But is there a part we're missing before she gets to the hospital? I feel like there is.
Man, I just watched it yesterday morning.
Because does Loomis and do they kill the Ben guy before or after Lloyd gets taken to the hospital? It's
Uh,
after, right? So we're right, right?
I think, dude, I literally watched it yesterday and I can't remember.
See, because what it is, so Lori gets taken away on the stretcher. She gets to the hospital and she's like stressing out. She, like you said, she doesn't want to go to sleep because she knows Michael's still out there.
Yeah, and she's begging
She
him not to
she
put her
don't
to sleep.
know that he's gonna keep chasing her, but she definitely don't want to be put to sleep right now.
Yeah, and she doesn't even know that it's Michael Myers yet.
Yeah, she don't know what's going on right now. But anyways, you can tell that the doctor, his name is Dr. Mixter, he's an alcoholic and he's drinking on the job.
Yeah, yeah, they're like he was at the country club. I think he's
Yeah,
I think he's drunk.
yeah. But they do put her to sleep and then it kind of cuts away from Lori for a little bit and they kind of catch up on Loomis and the sheriff.
Halloween,
Oh yeah, dude, where'd you get that at? That's a pretty
Walmart.
cool shirt.
Yeah, he got it from Walmart
Bro,
today.
Walmart be having a bunch of cool exclusive Halloween shirts that they drop from time to time. They just
Yeah,
don't
they
drop
do.
them enough.
Yeah.
But hang on. Let me actually pull up the plot just to get like a little Okay, so okay, yeah, we're right. So next thing that happens is so Loomis and the sheriff, they're driving down the road, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
where
Loomis
he's like got
says,
the gun, dude.
yeah, and Loomis is like they're going around there looking for him, and dude, Loomis is just like holding this gun. He's like,
I know.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
And
and he's like, I shot him, I shot him.
even the sheriff's like, do you have to literally be waving that thing around? He's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's like, stop doing that. And the sheriff thinks he missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks
Yeah.
he missed.
Sheriff's like, there's no way a human man could take 6 shots and walk it off.
Yeah.
And then Loomis is like, wait, stop right there. Look at that. And it's like, you like, how dumb do you have to be to know that that's not Michael Myers? Why is
I
Michael
know.
Myers carrying a trick or treating bag? This dude ain't trick or treating in between killings like I
Dude,
kid.
right? Yes, agreed.
But
And he
okay,
Loomis is
so
trying to shoot him right there, dude.
there's like so many problems I have with this part. Don't get me wrong, Halloween 2 is a good movie,
Yeah.
but how far were they gonna go to kill that innocent kid, bro?
Right.
Because
First of all, Loomis is trying to shoot him
yeah,
right
Loomis
there.
is trying to shoot him while he's holding that trick or treating bag. Meanwhile, they're like, stop. And all he does is turn around and start walking away, acting like Michael, when he should be like, whoa, chill out, dog.
Well,
I'm a kid.
he was drunk. He was intoxicated because later the his friends say that he was drinking.
Oh,
So he probably got scared when he seen the sheriff.
shut up, Derek. See, as soon as you said that, I remembered that part. I was like,
Yeah.
dang it.
Yeah. But don't
Yeah.
worry, he doesn't get too far, sadly.
He gets to walking a little bit and they get to chasing him. Well, instead of staying on the sidewalk like a smart person, he just walks right out in the middle of the road. And that's when the deputy comes soaring through there and just plows right into him, crashing him
Yeah.
into a van, friggin' explosion, starts bursting up into flames. And Loomis is like trying to like tell if it's him. And then he's like, is it him? Is it him? And he's
Is
like,
it him?
I can't tell. And
Yeah. And then that's when the other deputy pulls
yeah,
up.
I remember the dude was like, he just came out of nowhere. I couldn't
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, I
I don't,
know.
I don't, I don't know why, but that's the one part I remember so vividly.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like you said, another officer pulls up and he's like, Sheriff, there's been some bodies found at the old what do you say?
The how he was like, we found three bodies, of teenagers. He's like, where at? And he's like, across from the Doyle house. And he's like, one of them was Annie.
Yeah, and then he goes,
Yeah,
and then they run, and dude, Loomis almost doesn't make it in the car in the
I
end.
know he doesn't. Yeah.
That's like the funniest part of the movie because like nobody likes Loomis because for some reason they always
Like,
want to blame Loomis for Michael
I
escaping.
know.
But
They're
it's
like, you
literally
let him out.
Loomis is never there when he escapes, bro. Loomis is always just coming to fix their messes, bro.
I know.
But no, they want to blame him all the time, which kind of aggravates me, but it's all right. But anyways, so they get there and it's the house and they bring Annie out on the stretcher and he stops them and her eyes are still open and he just slowly closes them.
Dude, that made me so sad because as a parent, you're like, dang, that's got to be one of the toughest things in the world.
And then the blonde headed dude, I don't know why, but for some reason he makes me think of Joey from Full House. I think he just
Right?
looks like him in the face. I don't know
Yeah.
why,
Yeah.
but he was like, "You go ahead and
Uncle
you
Joe.
go on. We'll handle this." He's like, "Yeah, you're right because I want to be the one to tell my wife before somebody else does."
Yeah. And then he looks at Loomis and blames him for it, of
Yeah,
course.
and he's like,
I didn't let
"Damn
him
you
out.
for letting him out."
Yeah. And he's like, I didn't let him out. I gave him orders to stay, to keep him. Yeah.
Yeah, like Loomis made it clear he tried for like 7 years trying to get through to him, and then after that, all he was trying to do was keep him locked up, and he couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
So after that, it's uh
Well, then Loomis looks at the other guy and he's like, he might still be out there. And he's like, he's dead. And he's like, we can't be sure if that's him. He's like, I watched him die. The
oh yeah.
deputy does. And he's like, we're not sure if that's him. But
Well, yeah,
unless you know it's him, assume that he's still out there. And then that's when the deputy has people continue to look for him.
yeah, yeah. Because Loomis is like, no, I gotta be sure. I gotta know 100% before.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna just go ahead and throw this in right here, just because it's a small scene, and I don't know where it happens at. But
Yeah.
there's a scene where they're at the hospital, and it's like the charred body,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
have to check it by dental records because his body's so charcoal that they can't tell who it is.
Dude, that might be one of the next scenes,
Yeah,
to
I'm
be
pretty
honest.
sure it is
Yeah.
because it happens earlier. That's why I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
And we come to find out it is Ben Tramer, the one that Lori and Annie were talking about in the last movie.
Yeah. That Annie told him that Lori liked him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Tramer.
Yeah, but I probably should have saved it for the next part because after everybody kind of finds out that it's Michael doing all the killings,
Yeah.
this big angry mob forms in front of Michael's house where they kind of like trash it.
Yes.
And my bad. I should have waited till then to say it was Ben Tramer that they killed
It's all good. Yeah,
because
they're
two of the
like destroying
teenagers
the
come
house.
up to the deputy and they're like, "We're worried about our friend Ben. He was at this party and he was really drunk and we ain't been able to find him."
And
He's
that's
like,
when they knew,
"Well,
yeah.
I'm sure he was just having fun, just being a
Yeah.
little wild and let us know." He's like, "Well, he was really drunk and he was wearing this Halloween costume and he was you could just tell because him and Loomis look at each other and they're like,
Yeah, they knew it. And let's just talk about how, dude, when that deputy got out of that car, he was just like shoving the people out of his way. He was like, he had his shotgun, his pump action, and he was
"Oh
like,
yeah,
like just shoving them out the way to tell them to stop. He was the alpha dog.
oh, I forgot one more part."
What's that?
Because I realized I forgot it because we're already at the part where the mob's there. Before the mob gets there, remember when the kids come up to the door because Loomis is hiding behind the bush trying to wait. Wait a minute. Is that the first one?
Yeah. Yeah, where he's like screams at Lonnie. Yeah, that's the first one.
Dude, why did I think that was in the second one?
Because it's the same night.
Dude, this is rough. See, I knew this one was gonna be hard because most of it's just like hospital scenes. Like, not a whole lot happened in the hospital scene. There is a really cool kill in the hospital scene that we'll get to later.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll go back to that mob. But yeah, they're completely trashing Michael's house.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's coming through with his freaking pump action dog.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to the hospital and Lori's in her bed. And dude, Jimmy keeps on sneaking in there, like checking
He
on her.
does.
Like
Yeah.
you can tell Jimmy like genuinely likes Lori. Like he's really got the hots for Lori.
Yeah.
And the
Nurse, the charge nurse.
yeah, the charge nurse is like always busting Jimmy and like sending him out of his
Dude, I was
way.
watching. I was like, why can't he? He's a paramedic. Why can't he go in there and chill with her?
Meanwhile, Bud and the other nurse, you know her name?
Oh no. But
Um,
first, I just want to say that her friend had to beg her to take her home before she came into work.
oh yeah.
Because I was like, dang,
Her
man.
name is actually Karen.
Yes, Karen. Yeah.
So Karen and her friend are um leaving a hospital party, a Halloween party. And
Yeah.
she looks at her be like, she's talking about how she's running late. Well, she's like, you gotta take me home first.
Yeah.
She's like, it's 10 minutes to take you home, 10 minutes back. I don't have time. She's like, but you promise. She's like, you're right, get in.
I know. I was like, you gonna make your well, she told her to call her boyfriend, but he couldn't do it. But I'm like, so you're
Yeah.
just gonna make your friend walk
So she does that, and then she gets to work. She runs
late?
late, and then that's when the security guard's sitting there, and she lets her in. And that's the one I was talking about a couple weeks ago on the podcast that sadly passed away not that long ago.
Dang, yeah.
His name was
Let's also not forget
Cliff Image.
okay. Let's
Um,
also not forget the kid from the beginning of this movie where he had a razor blade in his teeth from candy.
See, bro, I see. I even told myself because I was looking through the Wikipedia before I left mom, so I could like get ready. I
Yeah.
don't want to forget about that because yeah, they kind of like touch on that. That. I mean,
Yeah,
no
because
one.
apparently that was a big thing back in the day.
Yeah, that was a big thing back in the day. Like people were worried about them putting razor blades in candy. And I know this is gonna sound really dumb, but when I was a kid, I didn't know that's what they were getting at, like razor blade in the candy.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, why does this kid have ice in his mouth and it's bleeding? Doesn't make any
Right?
sense. I remember
Yeah.
being a kid, I was like, what even is this?
Dude, you know who probably gave him that apple?
Who?
Chucky. Because, in the TV show, he gives the woman the apple with the razor blade
Yeah.
in
Yeah, that was
it.
good.
But yeah, we had to mention him, poor little guy.
Yeah. But yeah, but that's a real quick scene. It's actually the first time you see her, they're just walking in because it shows a little part of them later on, don't it?
Yeah, it shows him leaving. Yeah.
Already only got 10 minutes left in this one, dog. But anyways, so anyway, so she gets to work. She's late. Officer Garrett lets her in, and she gets in there and she walks in the break room where Bud and the other nurse are hanging out at, right?
Yeah.
And they're watching the news about all this Michael Myers stuff, and Bud's like, who cares?
Right?
And then, yeah, because all Bud's worried about is getting it on with that other nurse.
Karen. Yeah. Yeah, because the other nurse that was in there with them said that he was the. Oh yeah, because he was like, you gotta every other word's this or that or that, like
Yeah.
and then he's like, oh sorry, and then he says the F word. It's pretty hilarious. And then then Karen comes in and he's like, you're late again, and then she like touches his hand, so you know that they're like romantically involved. and then she has to go uh sign into work and everything, and then Nurse Alves or Alves. I always thought it was Alves, but in that movie they say Nurse Alves.
Yeah, that's her name, Miss
Yeah,
Alves.
yeah. Um, it's like you're a good nurse, but you got to stop being late, pretty much.
Uh, so Michael finds. So I actually didn't know this, but Michael finds out where Lori's at through the news. He's walking through town, of course, like just like normal because it's Halloween.
Yeah,
Like
it's
ain't nobody
Halloween and you can get away with it.
like
Yeah,
yeah, you don't like you can't just be walking out in the street and tell that's him. So he's walking across and he hears it on the news that she's at the hospital. So obviously that's where he's headed. And there's like a short little scene of like Michael walking through town
yeah.
and he's walking and then he like runs into this kid that's like holding a boombox and who is actually Dick Warlock's son, the dude who
Really?
plays Michael Myers. You didn't know that either?
I did not, dude.
Yes. Well, that is
That's
Dick
cool though.
Warlock's
That
son.
is cool.
But yeah,
Yep, I know.
so just a quick little part in there. So, and then Michael makes his way to the hospital. You actually don't see this part, but he cuts he slashes everybody's tires and
I know. Yeah, you don't see
uh
that until
he
later.
cuts he cuts the phone lines and slashes all the car tires so no one can escape and go for help.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. He knows what he's doing.
but yeah, Michael gets to the hospital and like what happens right after that?
Well, one part before that, they found out that he had broken into the elementary school
Yeah,
for
that's
some
right.
reason.
Because oh yeah, he wrote Sam Hain in blood.
Yeah, but I never understood why he broke into the elementary school, to be honest.
I don't know. Let's see if it says. Um, see, the only part I don't like Wikipedia is, dude, like it gives you like the bare minimum on like the plot. Like
Yeah,
it don't go into detail like at all, dude.
yeah.
So
But
like we're running off just memory here.
yeah, that's fine. Let's do it. So the reason like this, so at back at the hospital, why do they go to call?
What?
Is that later? Oh, anyway, at some point, Jimmy tells Lori that it's Michael, that it's Michael Myers,
Yeah, because
and
one of the
she's
time that he sneaks in, he's like, "Can I get you anything?" She's like, "Got a Coke," or like
yeah,
a Coke. He's like,
yeah,
uh, but yeah, he's like, during one of his times he comes in, he's like, "Yeah, said it was Michael Myers." She's like, "Michael Myers?" He's like, "Yeah, he's a escaped mental patient."
yeah, and she's like the kid who killed his sister.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because she actually knew about him. And
yeah,
then like after that, it's like she goes to sleep and she's like dreaming.
yeah,
And
of visiting him.
she that's where she finds out like she's adopted.
Yeah,
And
yeah, because the mom in there was so mean. She was like, "I'm not your mom."
yeah,
I
I
was like,
know, like
"What?"
why did they make it so harsh? Like she's
I
walking with
don't
her
know.
and she turns around because she's doing wrong. She's like, I've done told you I'm not your mother.
I know. I was like, "Whoa, dude."
And I was like, all right, lady.
Yeah. And then she walks in the room and sees I guess who she's figuring out is Michael at that point. Because she sees like a kid and he's like looking back at her.
Yeah.
And then she kind of goes into like a trance.
Yeah, dude, because like they come Jimmy comes in there, right? And like, okay, I don't want to put this part in the end. When does the hot tub thing happen? Does this happen after this or before this?
You know what? It might happen before this. Well, Yeah, it
Do
might
you,
happen before this because Bud like hides in a room and
yes. Okay. So
Karen is like filling
yeah.
out stuff, and then he hits the like the emergency thing, and it scares her, and she goes into the room thinking it's a patient, and then
Yeah.
he scares her,
Yeah. And he
out of the bed,
grabs her and they like
and then
start messing around in the bed.
yeah, and then he's like, "Let's go down to the therapy uh pool." And
Yeah.
then she's like, I gotta check on I can't leave the babies because she's in the children's ward, like the newborn babies.
Yeah.
And then he finally talks her into it, and she's like, "Well, okay,
Sorry.
if everything's okay." So
Yeah.
then the next thing, yeah, is like them down there, like he's in the hot tub, the therapy thing, and he's like watching her get undressed through like the window.
Yep. Yeah, you can tell he's all like that's the one thing he be in it with is getting some, bro, because he's just eagerly waiting. And as soon as she gets in there, he jumps all up on her. I'm like, yep.
You know, and then Michael, of course, turns the heat up, and she's like, "It's
Yeah.
really hot in here," and he's like, "It's just me."
Yeah.
And
And
then she
then,
kisses him a little bit more, and then she's
yeah.
like, "No, I'm serious."
Yeah. He starts loving her. She's like, no, I'm serious. It's really hot. He's like, oh, fine. I'll go check it. And then he goes over there and, he gets more like a off-screen kill. Like it's kind of on screen, but it's kind of
Yeah,
like
you can, yeah, like the
you can
silhouette
see her and
of
you
it.
can see it in the background of him dying. And
Yeah.
then this is probably like the weirdest part because you think this is the only time Michael's had a boner in his whole life?
I don't know.
Because this part gets me every time. Like it drives me nuts because you know them hands are gonna be so nasty. Dude, I was
Every
sitting
time I
there,
see it, I'm like, that's
I
so
was sitting there,
gross.
I was like, "Ugh," because dude, and I don't know what Michael was getting at. I guess he was seeing what she was finna do before she
You're
looked
right.
back. But dude, he just like chills his hand on
Yeah.
her shoulder and she's like,
Right. It's so
dude, she's just over
gross.
there like making out with his hand. All
Dude,
of
and like you said, he
a
ain't washed his hands. So, like, how did she not be like, oh,
yeah, and then yeah, she gets freaked out and she's like, "What?" And dude, probably, but no, I was gonna say the best kill of this movie, but this is the second best kill of the movie. So he takes her and he like plunges her and he lifts her up, plunges her, and remember he turned up the temperature, so it's dangerously
yeah,
hot.
yeah,
It even shows it when in between going in and out
yeah, it's over 100
of it going
degrees.
danger, 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 and it's really cool because every time she comes up, more of the like the burnt skin is like peeling and peeling and peeling, and then he just drops her and then she like collapses. She's dead.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, her face was all peeling,
And
dude.
let
It
me
was
just
so,
say, the music that John Carpenter did was top notch. Do you know what I'm talking about? While he's doing it,
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I really liked that. That was good. I don't know what it was, but it added so much to the moment.
yeah.
We got less than a minute left, so it's getting ready to cut us off, dog.
Okay,
So I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here.
okay, yeah, I'm ready. So she gets boiled. She's boiled.
Yeah, yeah, she's
So then,
deep fried.
yeah. So then it shows Jimmy going to Lori's room, and that's when he finds that she's like in a trance and unresponsive. Her eyes are
Yeah,
open, but
yeah,
she's not. So he
which
runs
is
and gets. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no. I was just gonna point out like they never really explained what happened there,
She was
did
having
they?
that dream. Was I think it's she was just having the dream and coming to the realization that
But
Michael was.
like they
But
full
yeah, they never
on.
explain it.
Okay, yeah, you just keep going. That's just a weird part, bro.
So he runs and gets Nurse Alves. She comes in, checks her, can't wake her up. So she tries to call the doctor, but or something, and the lines are dead
Yeah,
where Michael had cut it earlier. So she sends the other nurse down to the security guard so he can check it. So she goes down there. She's talking to him. He gives her a walkie that she doesn't know how to use. And she's even like, I don't know how to use this. I got to get back. And he's like, well, just wait and gives it to her. And he goes to the basement, I guess, to check stuff. And he hears noises. But dude, when he's outside and he opens that dumpster, he sees blood because he heard something in it, and then the cat jumps out on him and
Yeah, I
scares him.
remember that.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that
he
was
gets
good.
up from that, goes in, he sees that the lock was off of one of the doors, and he's just checking and
Yeah.
hear noise, and then he turns around and Michael puts a hammer through his head.
Yeah, and it shows that hammer going up and coming straight
Oh yeah,
back
because right
down.
before that, he got on the microphone. He got on the walkie and was trying to talk to the nurse, tell her that someone needs to go down to the sheriff's station because he thinks someone broke in, but she can't hear him because she don't know how to work it.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then right after that, he gets a hammer to the head. Hammer time, baby.
Yep. And that's the last you see of him.
Yes. And you know what I always thought was weird? Like that was the last you seen of Nurse Elves until Jimmy finds her. It didn't even show her.
Yeah, because once you see her, we'll get to that part actually here in just a second.
Yeah.
But we'll just go over it here when it does. But yeah, the security guard gets killed. So when the other nurse realizes that he ain't gonna answer, the blonde, what's her name? The one
Dude.
that's still alive, the blonde headed one.
Oh yeah, the one with the short blonde hair. But
Yeah,
this is the one with the longer hair.
I thought she was dead.
No, she doesn't. No, that's Karen. But there's three of them, and I think the one we're talking about really isn't a nurse. She's
Yeah,
like a receptionist type. But so anyway, after she can't get the security guard on the walk anymore, she goes back. She tries to find the doctor,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
that's where she finds him with the needle in his eye. Right?
Yeah, she runs back there. Yeah, and she's like, it's one of those classic horror movie scenes where the chairs turn. Like
Yeah, and she's talking
I
to him.
mean, they're dead, but obviously in the movie they're not gonna know. So
Yeah,
she's like, Dr. Mixter, there's a problem, and like pulls the chair around, and dude, it's just that needle sticking out of his friggin' eyeball.
yeah. And
And
then go ahead.
yep, uh, she like freaking out, and like, bruh, if this was me, and if anybody be dying like that, I'd be doing, you know how in Scooby Doo, how Scooby and Shaggy, they run so fast, like
But
their legs will be so much faster than they are. Bro, that'd be me. I'd be up out
yes,
that hospital. Nah, dude, she's
I
gonna be like,
know.
oh, what do I do? And then it does that infamous shot from the first one where Michael like is hiding in the dark and his mask slowly lightens up. And dude, he
Yeah,
just jabs the needle on the side of her hair and just pokes May in
yeah,
there. Kills her dead.
yeah. And she's dead. Yep.
Yep.
So she's done.
And
So then it
then
cuts back to
yeah, they just
you. Go ahead.
at this part, it's kind of, the movie goes like on a roll for a good second because
Yeah.
boom, Dr. Mixer dies. Boom, that girl dies. And then Jimmy comes running, right? So Jimmy comes running in the room, finds Alves, like you said, dead. Like she was killed off screen. You don't even get a kill for her.
Yeah. Well, first, it's the blonde haired nurse comes up to Jimmy. They realize that Lori's gone,
Yeah.
and then she's like, "I can't find anyone, Jimmy," and he's like, "Me either." He's like, "You go down there and see if there's anyone there, and if there's not, you get in your car and you go to the sheriff's station. I'll keep looking around here." And then that's when he goes into the room and finds Nurse Alves.
Yeah. And that's when he goes, he's going, and I don't know what tube that is, but there's blood dripping through the tube.
Yeah, it's like he just put in an IV and cut the thing where all her blood would
But
drip
yo,
out.
this is some like bright blood though. This was some bad fake blood. Did like it stick out to you how bright it was?
Yeah,
Like
it kind of looked like
how
paint. Yeah,
bright of a red it was? Yeah, I was like, bro,
yeah,
this is a paint.
yeah,
But yeah, dude, he slips in it. And this is one of the only parts that I don't like. Cause I get like he could have a concussion or something.
yeah,
But what happens after, we'll go ahead and like, so he slips, and like after he slips, he's cold.
yeah,
He's taking him a overdue nap for a while. And then it
yeah.
cuts to,
Siesta.
I'm pretty sure we skipped another part, my guy. The car
Which one?
scene of the wait, when does Loomis and Nurse Chambers get to the hospital, bro? I
That's
can't
a
remember.
that's like oh no, that's the end sequence because uh
Yeah.
they're at the elementary school looking at like everything that Michael had done, and
Yeah.
then Marion comes there, and Loomis didn't recognize her at first, right? So she's like, the governor sent me to bring you back to
Yeah.
Smiths Grove. You've been ordered back to Smiths Grove, and he's like, they can't do that, and it's like the governor did it.
She's like,
So then
yep.
he's like, well, just tell him you couldn't find me, and she's like you can't. There's a marshal out there waiting on you.
That
So
was
they get in the cart, right? So then it switches back to the hospital.
that filled me in on everything. Yeah, I'm good now. See, I
Yeah,
I forgot about that one little part. So yeah, it shows like a scene in the middle. This is where like so it's Loomis and Nurse Chambers in the back. You got the marshal driving up front. And she's like, Loomis, there's something you need to know that I found. And she's like, there's a file that was locked. He's like, a file? I've done been over everything. And she's like, see, this is where I don't think it's fair. You should have got to know everything there is to know about Michael.
yeah,
But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that Lori, that Strode girl, this is exactly how she said it. She's like, that Strode girl, that's Michael Myers' sister.
yeah. And he's like, well, don't you see what he's doing? He killed one sister 15 years ago, and he's come back for
Yeah.
the other one.
And
That's a
then
very bad
yeah,
impression of him. Sorry.
yeah. But no, it's I lost my train of thought.
So anyway, they're talking about that, and he's like, he wants
Yeah,
the marshal to turn around and go, oh, because then he's like, where'd they take Lori after, like, where'd they take her tonight?
yeah, to the
And she's
hospital.
like, the hospital. And then he asked the marshal, do you know where it's at? How well do you know this place? I know it pretty good.
Yeah,
And he's like, let's go to the hospital. He's like, I can't do that. I got
dude,
orders.
dude, he points a gun straight to him. He's like,
Yeah,
what is
you
it you
got new
do around
orders
here?
now.
Fire a warning shot. Boom! Takes
Yeah,
out the window.
yeah. Then that car goes,
Yeah, and
woo.
then it just cuts to like a wider angle, and the car just literally drifting in the middle of the road.
Yes. And
Yeah, that
then
was a good part.
it was, yeah. And then it cuts back to the hospital, and the blonde nurse is like couldn't find anyone, so she's walking outside. She gets in her car, it won't start. She gets out, then that's when she realizes the tires on every vehicle is
Yeah,
cut.
and dude, this is scary. This,
Dude, why wouldn't she just run away from the hospital? She'd have been safe.
dude,
But I guess she didn't know
I
that.
honestly don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't have just ran either. But dude,
Yeah.
this is one of the parts. See, when I was a kid, I couldn't tell it was Michael. But when she shuts the door, as soon as she shuts the door, you can see Michael in the back seat of her car, just like it would have been like Annie all over again. But think Michael just wasn't quick enough with it. I got
Right.
the hiccups.
So she goes back into the hospital, and that's where she sees Lori walking down the hallway. She's like, Lori?
Yeah.
Lori's just like,
And then she's like stopped at a corner, bro. And
yeah,
this is the part I was talking about, the best kill in the whole movie, the golden chainsaw.
yes.
He takes that scalpel, he rams it into her back because
Mhm.
like he like kind of steps out behind her and gives Lori a good second to see him. He goes boom, and he like, bro, picks her up with one hand in that scalpel,
Yes.
dude. And meanwhile, her feet are like jittering and like her shoes fall off, and he just drops her to the floor. Such a
Yep.
dope kill.
It is. Yeah.
And Michael starts making his way to Lori.
Yep. She
And this
takes off.
is the chase scene they do to
Yeah.
the hospital.
Hmm.
So where does she go? She goes through that basement part that the security guard went through too, don't she?
Yeah. She goes to that place first, and then
Yeah.
he follows her, and then she finally climbs out of a window that she sees to get to the
Yeah.
parking lot.
She climbs
She,
out of a window.
yep. She gets to a car. She gets in. She hides in the floor.
Yeah. She hides in the floor, and then she really starts freaking out when she notices somebody like coming up.
Yeah.
Thank God it's just Jimmy. And see,
Yeah.
this
He
is
gets
the
in the car.
part that I was talking about, like that really, like I mean, he could have had a concussion and he might have passed out from the blow to the head,
Yeah.
but it don't, I don't know, it don't sit right with me because He makes it
Same.
all the way to the hospital, all the way outside. He sits down. He's like,
Yeah. They
and
did him dirty. I think he should have got a better.
he
You know.
looks over and he's like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Just letting Michael know we're over here.
Yes.
And she's like, shut up. So she just pushes him off the wheel. Actually, a conspiracy theory is Jimmy didn't actually die because we never seen him die.
That's true.
Some people say that Jimmy's Karen's dad.
Yeah, that's a
Lori's
pretty good
daughter.
theory. Yeah.
I mean, it's a long shot, but you never know.
Yeah, that's a good theory though, because they never say who it is.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
after that,
She see.
that's right when Loomis and them pull up because she's outside, and she actually don't even see Michael yet. Lori don't.
No.
This is another part I have a problem with, and like, look, I love the Halloween movies, but they have some bad spots, bro.
Yeah.
And this, I don't really like how they did it. It makes no sense at all. So she gets out of the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she like falls down to the ground. Well, Loomis and them are right there. They're not even 20 foot away.
Yeah.
And dude, they're the whole time they're walking to the friggin' door. She's like, help me.
Yeah. She can't get it out. Yeah. And then as
And
soon as the door closes,
literally the split second after the door closed, she goes, help me. And I'm like, you couldn't have done that.
dude.
Not literally not even a split second before that. It didn't even have to be a whole second. It makes me so mad.
Me too. Every time I see that, I'm like, she could have yelled louder sooner.
And then
Yeah,
she starts
agreed.
crawling, and then Michael just somehow pops up
Yeah.
in another
So
chase scene.
Well, she gets up to her feet and runs to the
another
door. It's
another
locked.
Halloween one scene where she like beating on the door and nobody can hear her because she's waiting too freaking long.
Yeah.
And luckily, Loomis makes it to the door right in time.
Yeah, last second he lets her in, and then Michael just walks through the door.
Dude, he's like, dude, he does it like there's honestly nothing to it.
Yeah, he just walks straight through it.
Like he just, do you think that's gonna stop? He just goes.
Yeah.
He's like, surprise!
So then Loomis shoots him some more, dude. So he's already been shot six times that night, and then however many more times
dude,
that Loomis shoots him.
What? Like, where are these bullets going, dog?
Right?
He's got to be shooting blanks.
Yeah. So he falls down, and then the marshal goes to go over there, and he's like, and Loomis is like, get away from him. He's like, he's dead.
He's like, yeah, he's dead. He quit
He's like,
breathing.
no, he's breathing.
Like, no. Then Michael,
yeah,
dude.
Well, then Donald tells, Dr. Loomis tells Marion to go out and get on the marshal's radio and the marshal's like, I'm the only one that is authorized to use that. And then he's like, go. And before that, he had told Lori sorry for leaving her.
Marshall ain't gonna be authorized for much because right after Nurse Chambers goes out, he's like, yeah, he's dead. He quit breathing. One swift motion, Michael pops up, grabs him, slits his throat, dead.
Yeah. So,
all in one swift move, he is dead.
Yep. So then Loomis and Lori start running, and they go in the major surgery room.
Dude, they were like, Nurse Chambers, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
They were like, we gotta live too. It's every man for himself out here.
Yeah. So they're in there hiding, and Michael finally figures out where they're at, and he like keeps hitting the door.
Another thing, I don't know why Michael would have known right off that was the room they were hiding in. I know that Michael would have known that they were in that general vicinity because like they ran through these double doors. And what I don't get is they stood there for so long trying to figure out which way to go that Michael could see them through the window.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, don't stop. Just run.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's how you know this is a movie that they're just trying, like they're making it entertaining. Like obviously it's not realistic.
Yes.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, they're hiding in it's the oxygen room where they keep all the oxygen.
Yeah, it's like major surgery room, and they use that oxygen like when you're in surgery and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he breaks through that door, and then Loomis stands up there, and then
Well,
he,
actually, before that, Loomis gives Lori a gun, but Lori don't want it.
yes,
Lori don't want to take it, and he's
yes,
like, "Well, honey, you gonna have to take it." He puts it at her feet, and he's like, "I'm gonna leave it up to you."
yeah.
So, and then yeah, it's right after that,
That
Michael
Michael
comes
breaks in, yeah.
breaking through.
And Loomis goes to shoot him, dude, and he's ain't got any more bullets in his gun.
Yeah, he ain't got no bullets, and dude, Loomis gets stuck pretty good, dog.
Yep, Michael just gets him.
Dude, he gets hit with it hard, but
Yep.
yeah, he stumbles back, and he sees Lori, and as he's approaching Lori, she goes, "Michael," and like this is the first time that you can really tell, like some like that's the first time he's actually listened to something,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Whoa, he actually did it," but only for a second, because then right after that, he was like right back on it. And dude, I don't know why Lori didn't want to pick up that gun, dude. She's literally John Wick, my guy.
Yeah,
Dude,
right.
if you could hit two shots so perfectly that they go straight in his eye holes in the mask perfectly without hitting the mask,
Yeah.
you're freaking goated, dog.
Dude, so two more bullets in his eyes, and he's still standing trying to, but now he's blinded, so he's just,
And
he
it
can't
was
see.
such a good scene because he gets shot and he's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, and the blood starts trickling down.
Like you can tell, like it had an effect on him, but only for a second. I mean, for just a second too.
Yeah.
And then
Hmm.
he's like, then he starts slashing. And like, I don't know, I really like the sound effect they do the
Yeah. Yeah.
every
And then,
swing.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then by
Loomis
that time,
starts.
Loomis
Yeah,
stands up. Yeah.
yeah. They get a pretty good plan going on. They're like they're finally starting to get on the same page. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He turns the oxygen on his
Yeah.
side, and then
She'll
she
turn
sees it. So,
on.
yeah. So
So
then she
Michael's
turns
just
it
going
on.
back and forth, slashing every which way because dude, he can't see.
Yeah. So he's doing just doing it by sound. Yeah.
So Loomis actually has a little bit more plan than Lori knows of because
Yeah.
after they
Yeah.
get the oxygen rolling, bro, he tells Lori to get on up out of there.
Yeah. And he has a lighter from earlier in the movie where the deputy gave him a cigarette and a lighter. Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, Michael, this is the end." And dude, he lights it, and
Boom.
dude, like friggin', I don't even know, dude, but it was a
Yeah.
big one.
It
It
was.
knocked
And
got did it not? It didn't knock Lori down. She's just hiding, right?
yeah, yeah, she was just like getting out of there and crawling and stuff. It
Yeah.
might have blew her down because when like she did go to her knees and stuff, and then Nurse Chambers heard it and ran in there, and then Lori's like laying on the ground and she sees Michael coming towards her,
Dude,
just set
and
ablaze.
not only has this dude been shot eight, no, probably about what, 11, 12 times,
Yeah, at
two
least
in
a
his
dozen
eyes,
times.
six in
Yeah,
his body, couple more in his body,
yeah.
and
Now
he's
he's
been blown
completely on
up.
fire.
So thank God. I mean, if he would have for real walked out that fire and been all right, I feel like Halloween wouldn't be what it is. Because as soon
Yeah,
as he gets out that fire, he falls down. He's done for. And
yeah,
this right here, after this would be the end of Michael and Lori for a long time.
yeah, yeah,
This was the ending that was supposed to be done in the first one. There
yeah,
wasn't supposed to be no Michael or Lori in the second one, period. It was
yeah.
supposed to
They were
be
supposed to end it with
another
that. Yeah,
event.
yeah,
But yeah, after that, it shows that it's morning. It's
yeah.
finally not Halloween, so Lori might actually be able to be safe for once.
Yeah, and she's in a wheelchair. She's getting wheeled over. There's like news people there and everything.
They're loading her up in the ambulance to
And she's like,
hopefully
"Can I
be
sit in the
taken
front?"
to a safer ambulance.
Yeah, well, dude, she's like, "Can I sit in the front?" And he's like, "No, you got to sit in the back."
Did you
So
really say that?
yeah, because
I
I was
didn't
like,
hear that.
I think she didn't want to sit in the front in the back, dude. She was like, "Can I sit in the front?" And so he's like, "No, you got to sit in the back." So he puts her in the
Why
back
would it matter?
cause
Just
well,
saying.
because there was a driver and he was the passenger, so there wasn't any room, to be honest. But I guess you can't sit a patient up front with you, probably. is probably the
But
deal.
like, I don't know why she would want to sit up front. Like, why does it matter?
Probably scared, dude. She don't want to sit in the back.
I mean,
And
I get that, but if you're in a moving ambulance, I'd say you'd be all right from Michael.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, then it shows.
as far as she would know.
Yeah, true. And then it
Lori,
shows her sitting there looking out the back of the window.
Mr. Sandman,
Bring me
bring me a drink.
drink.
Yeah, it's good. But that's Halloween too. I
Yeah.
know that that review was a little bit over the place just because if y'all have seen this movie, y'all try to talk about it. And I
Yeah.
guarantee it that y'all will have just as many problems because there's so many switching between Loomis because there's like two different storylines going on through the whole movie. You got Loomis and Sheriff trying to find them, and then you got the hospital, Michael hunting Lori and Lori trying to survive. So
Yeah. Yeah. But we pretty much covered
yeah.
everything.
I
So it's all
mean,
good.
we didn't forget nothing this time, so we're Gucci.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
But
dude. But the like when it goes to the end credits and it's playing Mr. Sandman, and that's so great. I love that. I love that. I love that song.
yep,
It's just
it's
like
but yeah, I actually want to look up the time gap real quick. Wait, hang on.
well, Lori didn't return until what, 98? And that was in 81. But it was supposedly still 1978. So it was when she comes back, it's
Okay.
20 years later. Yeah.
So 88 is Halloween 4. So
Yeah.
what
Okay, I see what you're saying.
what was Halloween 2 again?
82. Oh, Halloween 2 was 81. Halloween 3 was 82. And then there was a time gap to
So for
88.
7 years there was no Michael, but there was a Halloween movie, which is Halloween 3, which is actually what we will cover it next week. We will be covering it, even though it doesn't have Michael Myers in it. Sorry for anybody that doesn't like it, just for the simple fact that Michael Myers is not in it.
Dude, if you don't like Halloween 3, man, then that's wild because that movie's great.
I'll be
Even if
honest,
it
it,
doesn't have Michael.
if you don't like Halloween 3 because it doesn't have Michael Myers in it, you're probably 12 years old. Just like, and I'm not even being funny. I'm just speaking straight facts because I like Halloween 3 now, but I didn't as a kid just because it didn't have Michael in it.
Yeah, because you wanted to see Michael. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, when I was a kid, I'd never understood why it didn't have Michael. I didn't realize that it was a different story. But now that I'm older, dude, I absolutely love it.
so there's a 7 year gap between Halloween 2 and 3. So for 7 years, Michael would go dormant until he would pick the knife back up in Halloween 4. But it would actually be wait 17 years for Jamie Lee
Wow.
Curtis until her next Halloween movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Because after Halloween 2, Jamie Lee Curtis was done. She had made it official. She was done with Halloween. Actually, the only thing we have to thank for Jamie Lee Curtis being in Halloween is Scream. Because I don't know if you knew this, Scream is the reason that I know I've told you this before, but Scream is the reason that Jamie Lee Curtis came back to Halloween. Because Scream
Yeah, I didn't
just
know that
came
until you
out
told me.
and horror was dying, bro. Like
Yeah.
horror was dying until Scream came back and full on blew the franchise back up. And that's when Laurie was like, horror's making a comeback. I'm doing another Halloween movie. And that's where we get H2O 20 years later, which is the start of the new timeline, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's after the
Because technically 4 and 5, no, yeah, 4 and 5 is still in with the original, technically,
yeah,
right?
Halloween 1, 2, 4, and 5 is the same timeline, yeah.
So actually, we're taking a break from this timeline for 3, and then we'll have 2 more reviews in this timeline. And then after the next 2, we're going to be switching to the H2O 20 years timeline.
Yeah.
But actually, the H2O timeline only has
Halloween 1
after that.
Yeah, so it only has the H2O timeline is the original Halloween, Halloween H2O,
and then Resurrection.
And Resurrection.
Well,
And maybe Halloween too. Yeah.
if you want to be technical, we'll just say the beginning of Halloween Resurrection because let's face it, the whole Halloween Resurrection has nothing to do with Michael at all.
Dude, I couldn't believe that Lori's not in that movie. Like, I don't know what happened, like why she didn't want to be in like the whole movie, but like
In
her
what
part
movie?
was
Resurrection?
yeah. I know she was in Resurrection, but I'm saying like she got out of it so quick. You know what I'm saying?
I think that was just mainly to go with that she didn't want to do anymore.
Gotcha.
And if I had to guess, I don't know if this is true or not, but I mean, you got to think 4 and 5, Lori wasn't in them. So, I mean, I wasn't alive at the time, but I mean, obviously with Halloween 3 not having Michael in it, I say they would have had a problem with 4 and 5 not having Lori in it. I mean, yes, she was acknowledged, but she
Yeah.
wasn't in it. You've seen a picture of her.
Yeah, and they like she had apparently died in a car wreck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was gonna go ahead and spoil it anyway, but yeah, she dies in a car accident. Actually, Michael doesn't even get her. So, Michael, you suck.
Yeah. I guess
But
I should have saved that.
oh no, it was cool. I was getting ready to say it anyway. I was just deciding
Gotcha.
if I needed to or not. But
Yeah.
so I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. So I really think Lori was only in Resurrection to get killed off because honestly, I don't think Lori had any intentions on doing the new reboot series. I think she was
Oh yeah, probably
strictly in
not.
the beginning of Resurrection to put it into Lori Strode. That's what I
Yeah.
think. I don't know because I ain't read nothing on it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll look into it more when
That
we
makes
cover
sense. Yeah.
Resurrection. But it does, don't it? I mean,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Like
because
she just didn't want to do it
she
anymore.
came back for H2O because of Scream, and like after 2, she was done anyway. So I
Yeah.
just say she was done and wanted to like kill her off.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
That's
I
my
think they just
guess.
weren't in that storyline. Yeah.
I'll update y'all when we cover those videos and I'll let y'all know if I was right or not. But that's Halloween 2, broskies. I know it was a little
Yeah.
bit over the place, but we covered it all for you. And we did it right before the second one ended, bro. We
Yes.
killed it. But yeah, Halloween 2 in 1981. Classic. Yeah, that's a classic, right? Just because
It
it's
is. Yeah.
nothing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a classic.
But I do want to go ahead and announce we will be starting another series just because I don't want to do like just movie reviews because that's going to get
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah. I agree.
So we're going to be starting to do 2 videos a week. Don't hold us to 2 videos a week because there might be a week we might not be able to do both. We might have to do one week. I'm just going to have to get over it. But we're going to start doing rankings, which is where we're going to do the other big franchises. We're not going to full on review them just because we want to like do the full review, but we're going to go through the franchise and rank our favorite ones from like,
Yeah.
we'll go least to worst just because it's better to do it like that.
Yeah. Like our
But
favorite to our least favorite.
we haven't came up with the series. I made a post on it on the channel. So if you're watching this, go comment what you want us to do. But I think I know what I want to do.
Gotcha.
I think I know what I want to do. I'll go ahead
What's
and
that?
give y'all a little. Dude, I need to dust this thing, dude. This thing is like you can't tell, but dude, it's super dusty.
Is it? Dude, dust collects so quick on stuff. I'll dust my stuff off, and then next like couple days later, it's covered in dust.
Dude, and this knife is actually signed by Brad Dourif, I will tell you that. But the knife is fake. The knife is plastic.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Very
It's still epic, dude.
and you
That's
want to
so
know how I
cool.
know that? I couldn't help myself, so I opened it one day. Because all you gotta do is
Nuh-uh.
like move these things on the back and you can open it. I had to know if it was metal or not. But yeah, I don't know exactly when that's gonna come up. Since we do our podcast on Friday, I think it'd be really cool to do like maybe the rankings on a Monday. Just do like a Monday video and a Friday video.
Yeah.
If it works, if not, we might not even do a set day for the rankings. We'll probably keep
Yeah,
the
just randomly pop it in there.
we'll keep the podcast on Fridays, but we're gonna try to have a schedule for the rankings. But if it don't work, they'll still be going up. We're still gonna be doing them.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned for that because that's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be really hard ranking movies,
Yeah,
especially the Chucky ones, because then
yeah, but I guess like it's like you know what I mean? Like it's your favorite and then I do my favorite. So it's just which ones we like better than
yeah,
the others. Other
yeah.
people might feel different, you know. It's all opinion
And
based.
see, I feel like we'll flow a lot better with the rankings because we won't have to go over every single part, just go over the parts that we like. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think the rankings are gonna flow a lot better, and it'll like help us like reach out and like do something different that might catch other people's attentions. Because
Mm.
like we're gonna be covering Halloween for like 2 months, dog.
Yeah. I
That's a
know.
lot of Halloween.
It is, yeah.
So I want to touch on some other stuff just because like not everybody's gonna be into Halloween. So that's why I mainly want to do it. But yeah,
Yeah,
make sure
dude.
y'all stay tuned, subscribe, hit the bell so y'all be notified when those videos come out because like I said, we've only been at this for like a month. I know we're still getting our stuff together. We are improving slowly, but it's still a work in progress. So y'all just gotta bear with us, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing happens overnight. Oh, I do want to say this real quick. I should have said this at the beginning. We got crazy good support on that first Halloween episode.
I know.
So I was amazed because like it did good the first couple days. It got like 40 views, which really ain't bad.
Yeah.
And then I randomly looked, it was at like 99 and then went up to 100 and then 150. We're sitting right now. I'll go see what we're sitting at right now, real quick. We're
Yeah, it was
at
pretty cool, man. It went up. Yeah.
we actually gained another sub. We're at 351. And the Halloween review is at oh man, dude, I hate that. But
Yeah, I
you can't
can't.
see it. 156 views, which is our most number one viewed podcast on the
So
channel.
far, yeah. Yeah.
Except for my other video. Y'all really need to go. I really only need like 400 people to go watch it because it's super close to 30,000 views. So if y'all can get it to 30,000, that'd be super dope.
Right.
Because that's the probably the crappiest video I ever made. I like the planning I put into that video was like 10 minutes tops. So for it to get 30,000 views really ain't bad.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. How did you I meant to ask you, like, how did you feel when you seen it? Like, did it get there fast?
No, no,
So what
no.
happened? Like,
Dude, that video's been up for 3 years.
yeah.
Yeah, it
So it's just accumulated almost 30,000 over the 3 years.
yeah, so dude, that's basically just what it did. It just slowly went up. I think what it did was like I made that video right before they announced that the new trilogy was coming out, and then when the new one came out, it went just because like everybody was like because like when Halloween 2018 came out, that was the first time we've had a Halloween movie since 2009.
I know. Yeah.
So you got to think that new generation don't know what Michael Myers is, bro. So they got to figure
Yeah.
that out. So I'm guessing that's just what it is because what I was doing is I was trying to look up like if Michael Myers was based on anybody, who would it be closely based to? Even though it's really not based after anybody, I
Yeah.
just went with who it was closest based to. It was a
Yeah.
crazy man, dude. He's
Yeah,
wild,
dude,
dude.
that's epic though, man. Like,
I think my pinky nail's gonna fall off, but it's okay. Dude, remember how I smashed it forever ago? Dude, I think my fingernail's finally just now about to come off.
wow.
Dude, like I could probably rip it off right now if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. Look, get us to 1,000 subscribers and I'll rip it off on the next podcast. I don't even care if it's healed. I'll rip it off anyway. No, I'm just kidding. That probably hurt really bad. No, actually, I'm not kidding. Because if we got to 1,000 subs and I said that, and like people would be holding me to it, I'd do it. I wouldn't care.
Yeah, but you
I
got to
I
do it,
would
bro.
I would do anything to make this channel work. You know what I'm saying? I'd make sacrifices. But yeah, that's it for this
That's
week. Make sure y'all stay tuned for next week. Let's go ahead and close it before we get cut off because we only have 2 minutes left in this recording. So
yes.
next week, Halloween 3. sometime at the beginning of next week rankings of the Chucky movies. It's not going to be as long. We're probably going to try to keep it at about 30 minutes because
Yeah.
there's like how many? No, never mind. We ain't be able to do that in 30 minutes. There's like 8 friggin' Chucky movies, dog. No,
There's quite a bit.
3, 4. There's only 5.
No, there's more than 5
There's
now.
1, 2, 3. Curse
And then
and
there's
Colt.
no Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky. Bride of Chucky's one of my
Terribly
favorites.
sorry, sir.
Yeah, dude. Well, I was a kid when it came out. I got it on VHS.
You said
Come
Bride
on,
of
bro.
Chucky was your favorite?
I said one of my favorites. It's at the top of the list.
I don't care. As long as you didn't say Seed of Chucky, because if you would have said Seed of Chucky, I'd be finding a new co-host.
Yeah, no, Seed of
Like,
Chucky's pretty wild.
full real. That Seed of Chucky is the
Glenda.
most wild movie ever.
Is my name Glenn or Glenda? Yeah.
Now, we'll save that for when we cover them in the
Yes.
ranking video, because I don't have anything I want to say about that movie right now until I have to. But yeah, that's it for this week for the Horror Buzz Podcast. I'm Danny.
And I'm Derek.
And we'll see you guys next week.